Okay. Good afternoon. My talk is about mindfulness in feeling and a little bit connected to the teaching of interdependent coordination. There is a saying in Buddhist teaching, 4 elements surround to emptiness, and consciousness exists within. This is a teaching in Buddhism I remember very well. It's not easy to understand what this means about. It's talking about 4 elements, talking about emptiness, and talking about consciousness. I try to explain it within my experiencing what this message about. When we talk about feeling, what is the definition about feeling? We know when contact brings something into the mind, mind receives this message, then processing what we know is called feeling. So contact is the front of feeling when it processing into feeling. Then from feeling processing into something else, link together, it forms 12 links. So feeling going into craving, clinging, that is easy. We experience it and we easy to understand it. But when it moves backward from feeling into contact, from contact into sixth sense space, from sixth sense space into form and into name, that is not in our easy to experience. So here, when we talk about feeling, I'm going to start like this. Feeling is the functions of emotion. So we feel something, that means you rise, your mind start processing or involve, receive something. Then emotionally it exists. So right now we talk about feeling. This condition of feeling, we can bring it like this. Feeling to the body, feeling to the mind and mental formation, and feeling to the what we call that emptiness, or feeling to the 4 elements. This is what is based on when we talk about feeling. It's always my teacher tell me, so when I learn meditation from him, he taught Kaya Samadhi. Kaya means body. Full foundation of mindfulness, mindfulness to the body. Means you try to pay intention to the body. So let your experience extension to the phenomenon exterior move backward intention to this body, from the body touching into interior, not exterior. That is called mindfulness training in these four foundations of meditation. So mindfulness to the body means you're feeling to the body. Then when feeling to the body, then you start to bring the mindfulness into focusing and concentrated into this body. So the body formation is touching by this mindfulness. So Kaya Samadhi means it form from this body, form Samadhi means form the concentration. So feeling to the body, what can we feel? See? Usually if we not concentrate, we not bring mindfulness there, you have the body with you. The mind is not going any other else, but you don't know much about this body formation. You see? So when reality, you really bring this body as an object and focus still to this object, so you feel is the reality of this body. So it's not the mental formation, but the body formation. The body formation of detail this body is you feel to the element. The feeling to the element. You see? So feeling to the element, we call four elements, isn't it? Because the body is, we not talk about very detailed chemical reaction, but we tell about more drastic, this body element called wind, fire, earth, water. That is something that's changing all the time, changing. So this is called body formation. So the body formation changing there, if you're not touching it as you concentrate and mindful to this, we easily turn it into the mental formation, because the mental have a larger experience there in the past. They try to be conscious, match to your mind. So a lot of things, when we see that a little bit hard, we don't say hard. In this fire element, we don't recognize this is fire, but we already turn it into mental. And then that changing, it brings you processing out of the reality. So in Buddhism have a little bit training like that, when the four elements always been realizing, so he recognize it by knowledge, by experience, touching to it, then he may accept the reality of contact, then the mind will quiet. It's not processing other else. It's easy to understand, but not easy to benefit from it. Unless you are concentrated, you have that kind of Kaya Samadhi, means you experience that kind of concentration. Then your mind will be present in that situation most of the time. So your feeling is feeling to the reality of body formation. So here we talk about feeling to the element. It's detailed. And from these four elements, we still have a feeling to emptiness. Yeah, feeling to consciousness. Yeah. So from this feeling to the form, and then slowly he know the form that included the mind inside conscious, knowing something. The conscious means recognize something. Let me say a word about consciousness. You know, in daily words that what we use, I'm conscious, he's unconscious. Unconscious means he know nothing. This is not the truth sometimes. Unconscious, maybe he's not conscious in the five senses touching, but he is conscious to his mental formation. That is what I understand like that, you know. He just knows something, maybe it's because of the senses have a little bit block, he cannot tell, he cannot say. He is conscious to something, but not conscious to the five senses touching into this world. We say he is unconscious. May not be like that. So conscious is within this space of mind, space of exterior, space of the element changing, all included in one. That is Buddhist saying. The conscious is last moment leave this body into the new existence. That is the Buddhist saying. So consciousness is always there until the cessation of liberation totally come true. Then consciousness is not working much. So conscious is something that I can say it like this, illusion. Like when you meditate, mindfulness is not, training well, so the mind energy is not strong into bring energy to focus. Then the mind like half sleep. You have the conscious start, more active than mindfulness. So not being aware, conscious already have something going on, take over the mind state. So it may be a little bit like dream, like something going on exists in the mind. You just cannot wake up yourself in that moment because that the mindfulness is not there. So it have a little bit like dream, but not dream. It have something going on. You think that it is something going on, but not. What I call it is the perception. A lot of perception is try to going on something, your mind touching to something like that. Because this is a life nature. It's active there, not being stopped. even though you want to stop it, but because of your maturing of stop it, it's not come to concentration yet, not come to samadhi yet, so it still have something formation active in the mind. We feel it, but we don't know what we feel. Not being awake there. I experience a lot of time like that when meditate. Yeah. So, a lot of people meditation and they tell you something, some story. They will tell you some story. Oh, I this, I see this, I see that, I touch to this, I touch to that. It's because of he don't have the fixed object for the mind to focus. So the mind just very crazy. It just want to grab something. Grabbing mind is our hunger. Yeah. So it just grabs something and process. It grabs something and process into anger, into this and that. Yeah. So we're not touching into emptiness. The real emptiness we're not touching to. So what is another Buddhist word called emptiness? Feeling to emptiness is a very, very challenging. We know that in Buddhism we talk about no self, emptiness, impermanent, a lot of terms, But what is this emptiness mean about? Unless you can concentrate that the samadhi is formed, then you enough steady to touch into between rising and ceasing, this changing. You can touch to the formation. So I can say it's about touching into the element, touching into the mental formation, or touching to the emptiness. This is possible. The thing possible. The mind can feel it. But real what we can feel, it need to, according to the skill, you need to be very serious into it, into the training. And the first thing what we want to say is trust to the skill. You pick up one skill, if you want to follow this skill practice, then you pick up it, and then the whole life you just follow it. Or if I want to start from 4 foundational mindfulness, then I start from mindfulness, the body. And then from this very rustic body, then I mindfulness to the 4 elements. See? So I don't let my mind become the boss. I let my faith and skill become the boss. So you start to experience backward to something I not been experienced. I start from there, going on. I don't like my consciousness become the boss. Is it easy to do like that? It's very difficult. When you sit there, mindfulness and observe this body and try to stop the mental formation active and try to be aware to this body, you try it. Only a couple seconds, the monkey mind already takes something else. It's not come to this focus because not get used to it and not have enough time to process it. You need to be very determination. Very humble to this, only this, oh, I feel guilty, it's not come to it. Oh, then you processing back your energy of desire, burning, carry out the practice serious and serious, then it will feel back to the body. Then the mindfulness always touch back to this basic. Then you start from the 4 elements. You know the 4 elements. Fourth element is make the mind crazy, I can say it that way. If the mind crazy, it disturb this element, the element will follow it up. We can say it like that. Painful have a little bit about solidity. When solidity accumulated, painful coming. Painful is a kind of a feeling. If the fire element accumulated, anger is coming. Other kind of desire is coming. See? And when the good feeling, you feel, oh, I'm relaxed. I feel calm. I feel peace. Oh, that is a little bit related into wind element, the air element. If a real become more accumulated and concentrated, the water element is processing, become more strong. See? So don't think that practice in 4 elements is nothing about experiencing into the something we not been experienced. It's really related. The Buddha say, mind and body 50-50. It influence to each other, exchanging to each other. So at first we are mindful to the perception, and then this perception, like we knowing that, oh, I need to mindful focus to this body. So the body is a perception. See? So from this perception, your mind is memory. Only remember this perception, and then what is that perception mean? It points to here. So that conscious is recognized here, it back to the reality. So from this back to the reality, then this result is starting to be more clear of the body formation. The body is all this body changing reaction, all the signal, this message come to the mind, because the mind perception is only there. So it turning into the reality. So element been touching. And sometimes you can do it like that. Sometimes I do it if I feel pain, if the bone, pressed to the nerve, it feels very pain. We know that it's come to the limitation of the what you can hold. The body already, everyone's body have his own nature to hold how much the pressure. Then the earth element become more strong. See, so if we come to that limit point, then it feels too much about that element, then you feel pain. Then you know, oh, this earth element becomes strong, it crushing to part of it. If your mind is focused and concentrate enough strong, then you can check that. Let me turn it. You use your mind, turn this earth element into water, into air element. You move by the mind, then that will reduce it immediately. Maybe reduce half of it. If your concentration is strong enough, you can reduce 80%, 90%. Some of them, it's just nothing there. They come to what we call that, touching to emptiness. He can use his mind overcome that feeling of element. If you can use your mind overcome the feeling of element, what can you feel? That's emptiness. I had one time talked to one of my teacher. He's a very strong personality, means his volitional, that volition, his will is very strong. He have a cut, at the back. Need to be, yeah. Usually here we need to put some muffin before you do it. Yeah, he said, I don't need this. Just go. And then watch him. He's just not changing any feeling in his face, not changing any movement at all, until, almost 18 times. It means his mind can, do something about this touching. The touching is very sharp. Untrained mind is very sensitive into the body. Worry, what I can say. Sensitive to the worry, is not sensitive to the release. So here is something we train our mind to become sensitive into release. Yeah, feeling. One of the ancient school, they start from feeling, come into liberation. Another school is start from contact, come to liberation. My lineage, trainings of 4 foundational mindfulness, is start from contact to liberation. So how this training is mindfulness to contact. You don't let your contact to 6 sense base turning into feeling and processing into more rough. You are aware that, and then this contact is contact, knowing that what is the senses contact. If you always mindful to contact, not let the contact processing, you need to pull it back. It means that mindfulness is pay attention. In the daily life, do we have any desire for pay attention? I think maybe we are all here, no one like that. We are not asking that, and we may sometimes we confuse what is pay attention about. There is something trending like that. Maybe the cowboy gunfire, when they start challenging to each other, that is the pay attention. And Japanese samurais, you fight one guy, fight many guys. You don't know who attacked you. That is the pay attention. They're looking for that very strong, because of they want to become a great what we call general or a great samurai. But how to train it become maturing that kind of personality? You see, you want to be a good cowboy, good fight. I don't know how they train this, but in Buddhism, pay attention, have the technique to train. Theoretically, skillfully, they can teach you part by part how to processing. So, with someone who trained in use the contact as the starting point, then feeling is not difficult for him. I mean, release from feeling. If someone use the feeling as the starting point to train his mind, then craving is not too difficult for him to release. This we talk about 12 links of interdependent coordination, because as an object starting point there means you are desiring to backward into this circle, then it won't processing into what we call karma. Karma means something is more strong after action. It will have side effect to add into the life. Not processing karma means it will purify this focus, attention, and then the mindfulness is more sharpened. It's because of you, from that standing point, you try to stop something and backward. So practice and training and not practice very different. Practice means it have the result processing into stop, sharpening, and release. It's not practicing, it become more chaos mind state. And the habitual pattern become more strong in negative grabbing. Sometimes in the daily life we talk a lot, and then some word come out, and we open mouth and talk. Suddenly shocked. Oh, why so fast? It's ignorant. Ignorant means the volitional activity, volitional involved is so fast. You lost contact point, the mindfulness, no applying, then the nature of this pattern life showing his own aggressive. So mostly I have a desire to keep myself silent. Yeah, only silence can open up ourselves mindful to the contact, or at least not let him processing into feeling. Once the feeling is there processing, then it will involve, because it will come to present feeling, unpresent feeling, neutral feeling, like that, then the three poison turning. According to these three feelings, then involved. So for us, life energy is involved. For a good meditator, the life energy is not involved. They try to avoid. So in the old day, when I'm a monk, not coming to this mission yet, not try to share my understanding and try to help others to learn, then I'm training at least the first 6 years in Thailand. Then I become a arm monk, ascetic monk like that. So carry an arm and go. Get food and back. Mostly is training contact. The more the not contact to people and not contact to the food is contact to my footstep, because of your barefoot walking. You need to be very conscious. Thailand in the old days, 1980 to 1990, still poor. A lot of gravel road like this. You need to barefoot walking around. So right now I cannot bear it anymore, because my foot is because of the boot. The cowboy boot is so thick. I don't have to worry. So that my foot right now is so thin. When I barefoot walk around a little bit, I feel painful. In the old days, not. Barefoot all the day. Wash your foot back to your kuti, back to your small heart, and get relaxed. So mostly is stepping all this. So like my dog foot, it's a very thick, not too painful. But you need to become more mindful. Otherwise, touching to something not sensitive enough to know. So I feel in Buddhism, the Buddha formed something in the community. The best way to training is become monk. When I talk to someone right now, everybody laugh and joke to me. So right now I not talk much about become monk, because our desire is not right now. Then we know how to apply to release. Right now our desire is apply to touching to the formation of small machine. No one is released now. Everyone busy, more busy than whatever. You can see it everywhere. When people have little bit free time, they take it out. Very busy. My worker do it too. Volunteer do it too. I still sensitive enough to keep my small machine in the goodie. When I come out to work, when I travel, I still keep into my bucket. You know, I'm not showing I'm too busy. I still showing that I'm a release monk. Yeah. So feeling about the value or the benefit of practice is very important. Even though we don't touch and experience much yet about that, but you need to keep your feeling into this information. Otherwise, you get lost. That is my feeling about life changing. And this, what I say is negative energy, you know, come to the modern world. So it just not make our mind concentrated. It make our mind is more thing to do, isn't it? And more thing to do, it form more habitual pattern like that, cause and effect. How far we need to go, I don't know. But my ways of life, I need to stop somewhere and return, because life for me is very valuable into the training. Even though I cannot help many people, but at least I help myself to experience something before the end of the life. So after this rough job there, I have enough tired, then I may come back to the mind tired, not come to this sixth sense contact tired. So here is contact to sixth sense. Yeah. When I learned the first Kaya Samadhi skill is contact to sixth sense. That is all thing about existing. So other than contact to sixth sense, we may contact to little bit profound meaning about the practice. Do we have that information? Yeah. I always question it to myself. You can trust the book saying, you can't trust anyone analyzing. When you read the book, it means his mind's talk. You know, read the book is saying continue and continue, complicated and complicated about the mind saying. Nothing tell you about the release. If you want to touching to the information of mind release, you only can touching to the basic of your training object. This is different from what I knowing about. Yeah. So the basic, when we study the basic thing, we need to make sure not for more understanding of the complicated, but for more clear about the skill and point to the different goal. Then you put your desire into, I must follow this skill, come to the goal. Processing into more advanced, touching to what I can touch. I think this is more important in the daily life. If you have that kind of feeling, then we come to the same page. Thank you.